welcome to my Friday afternoon. School day is over, school week is over. There were no kids at school today. I was in meetings and doing paperwork all day long, writing emails, all of that stuff. It was a in-service day. Lots of different kinds of thinking and work, and a little bit of time to get some things done that I haven't had time to get done that are still part of my responsibility. If you know a teacher, love on that teacher right now, because it's a hard time of the year. It's a hard time of the year. We are going to talk today about good news. I could really use some good news right now. I don't know about you. So this is all the good news from my commonplace books from February. So let's see what we have here. People seemed to like this last month. I was a little bit surprised. But thank you. Thank you for watching. And if you didn't watch last month and you have no idea what I'm talking about, this year I'm doing a series where I share some of the quotes that I read that really spoke to me on some particular themes. So each month while I'm reading, I am recording the quotes from the books that are really standing out to me. And I have a variety of commonplace books. One is focused on faith. One is focused on nature. One is focused on love. One is focused on beauty. And then I have a catch-all for other. And of course, the catch-all is the one that gets most of the quotes. So yeah, and I've decided to call the series Good News because so much of what these topics are about is good news, and what I tend to pull from them is good news. And I think we all need a little good news. So every month, here is my dose of good news for you from all the books I read. So February, faith, we've got just one quote, so I'll read it. It's from the book By Any Other Name by Jodi Picoult. And it's, it takes 100 years for a river to change course, from silt or stone deposits under the surface. No one sees what's causing it, but a century later, the water flows in a different direction. No one can dispute the change. Facts, seen from different angles, could be dismissed as fiction, and vice versa. There was a reason you could not create history without writing the word story. For nature, again, I only had one quote, but it's a doozy. It's a full page quote here. It's from Blackwood's Blue Sky by Eowyn Ivey. It says, "Life is hard. It was something Sid had told her when she was visiting him again the other evening. He described the tiny chickadees coming to his feeder each winter with their hearts racing and their feathers fluffed against the cold. The yearling moose chased off by their mothers and left to fend for themselves, the snowshoe hares dodging the constant hunt of the lynx and the owls and the hawks. All that hunger and fear. And then Sid was recalling friends and family he had known over the years, those who were addicted and abused, lonely and discontented, people who tried and tried but never found their footing. It was a miracle, not that life had come into existence, but that it endured. Dying, that was the easy part. The blueberry bushes and Labrador tea, the cinque foil and spirea were all in bloom. 8 months of the year, this slope was buried in snow. The conditions were extreme. Nothing but rock and wind and meager soil. So much left to happenstance and incredible endurance. Yet life thrived, unfurled its leaves toward the sun, and poured hope into its tender, fragile flowers." And beauty. I had no quotes for beauty in February. None. And then love. I have 6 for love in the month of February. So I don't know if I'll read all 6 of them. Let's see. Let's see what I read. From Things You Save in a Fire. I think they're mostly from that. But From Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center. Oh, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not mostly from that. I know I wrote down many quotes from that, but maybe I put them in other. But there's the first one in here for love is, shall I say it again? From Things We Save in a Fire, or Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center. "The rookie was leaving. My mother was dying, and the world was full of monsters. Good things didn't last. People hurt each other every day, and nobody got a happy ending. But that night with him made me see it all in a new way. All the hardships and insults and disappointments in life didn't make this one blissful moment less important. They made it more. They made it matter. The very fact that it could not last was the reason to hold on to it, however we could. The next one is from The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. I've spent my whole life on my hands and knees clamoring for crumbs of love. I don't know if there will ever come a time I am not hungry for it. Also from The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. He didn't love the way I imagined love would be. From The Indigo Heiress by Laura France. Martin Luther had many things to say about marriage, but I like this one best. The Christian is supposed to love his neighbor, and since his wife is his nearest neighbor, she should be his deepest love. His deepest love, he swallowed hard. A high standard. She faced him as resolute as she was romantic. Then we shall start small. We. His gladness in the word was tempered by small. His feelings for her weren't small. They were staggering. From Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monahan. Have you ever been to Whole Foods? I have. Well, they have a lot of chicken. I just stood there looking at all the rows of chicken and freaked out. 2 people stopped and took my picture while I was studying them. I didn't think I could figure it out without you, but did you know they sell chickens already cooked and salad? I laugh. Yes, I did know this. Listen, when you come back, I'll walk you through roasting a chicken. He's quiet for a second. No thanks. I just want you to roast me a chicken. I don't ever want to eat another chicken that wasn't roasted by you. And finally, I did read them all. And finally, from Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. It's your journey. You got to do your work, and I got to do mine. Your needs scares me. I'm afraid I'll focus on your needs over mine. I love you, and I love myself. I want us to be healthy and strong on our own, so that no matter what happens, whether we meet again or not, love means wanting you to have a good life, even if I'm not in it. And your love for me, it should be that strong, so that you want that for me too. And finally, all the other. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we've got 10 for February. Will I read them all? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The first one comes from, here they all are. The first one comes from Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center. I do it because I believe that human connection is the only thing that will save us. I do it because I believe we learn empathy when we listen to other people's stories and feel their pain with them. I do it because I know for certain that our world has an empathy problem with women, and this is one brave thing I can do to help fix it. Also by Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center. It's pure fiction, of course. I'm just telling myself stories, but that's the life-changing thing about stories. We believe them anyway. I love that one. And then this one is from Blackwood's Blue Sky by Eowyn Ivy. She'd believed that she was bound to the two of them, that their dangerous power would forever dictate who she was and how she moved through the world. They would always be a mysterious part of her, it was true, but her life was her own. She had come to understand their true names, and at last, she could say goodbye. From Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Moynihan. The best antidote to old memories is new ones. From Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Moynihan. I'm light while I write it, and as I do so, I understand why I write. To write is to recreate something as you would like it to be. I can filter my heartbreak through the giddy weightlessness of an afternoon romance movie, and suddenly it's silly. Telling myself this story in this way confirms that it wasn't real. It was fantasy, something I should recognize because I'm in the fantasy business. From Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. To be wise is to live with an abundance of sight. Also by Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. Wisdom is not bestowed. In its raw state, it is the heartbreak of knowing things you wish you didn't. Also from Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. If I'm in limbo, it's because I chose to remain there. Even inaction is a powerful choice. Also from Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. I am reminded that our elders are our greatest resource, embodying our culture and community. Their stories connect us to our language medicines, land, clans, songs, and traditions. They are a bridge between the before and the now, guiding those of us who will carry on in the future. And finally, our last one also comes from Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. My girl, some boats are made for the river and some for the ocean. And there are some that can go anywhere because they always know the way home. Are you a boat made for the river or a boat made for the ocean? Or can you go anywhere? Do you know your way home? If you know your way home, come home. I leave this good news with you. And until next time, let's go read.